One.
Hello, everyone. We are Hopewell Technologies LLC. Our objective is to provide all emergency response agencies with a reliable emergency response software to improve response times and save lives. We are utilizing an LLC for our corporate structure. There are 4 owners who have equal equity stake in the company and voting rights. We chose an LLC to protect our personal liability and our assets, as well as to utilize pass-through taxation so we don't see double taxation. We would also like to include a binding buy-sell agreement in our articles of incorporation in the event that we have to split or file bankruptcy. And we will use a fixed price evaluation method for all assets in our company. Looking at financing and capitalization, initially our startup costs will include a $2,500 charge for filing of our LLC and related a $15,000 charge for legal and patent fees. In the initial stage, we would like to utilize both owners' equity and familial contributions to cover the cost. Looking in the future, we hope to work with venture capitalists to purchase equity stake in the company to acquire future capital, and if needed, we will transfer to a C Corp as we grow. Looking at our own SWOT analysis, our strengths include low overhead costs, especially in the beginning as we created the software internally and utilized proprietary technology, including proximity location technology integrated into our product, which gives us a competitive advantage. This ties into our own improved form utility and product interface. Our low overhead costs allow us to have clearly identifiable profit margins. 2 of our members have knowledge and experience in the firefighting field. We also recognize there will be significant research and development barriers as there are in the development of any software. Also, the inexperience when it comes to market research. This will be an obstacle we must overcome. The timeline to develop the software could pose us a threat. We also don't have experience financing a business. We will need some outside consultation on this. Our company's current brand image is non-existent. We will need to overcome that with heavy marketing. We do have some opportunities here in New York. The rural market is untapped. Smaller departments have less opportunity accessing these products due to financial reasons. There is new federal funding for New York volunteer fire departments, which will allow rural departments to obtain new software. Moving forward, fire departments here in the US are seeing a growing availability for accessing grants. We see a societal trend for faster responses as people are expecting departments to get there quickly because of the advance in technology. However, the market is heavily saturated as an oligopoly, and that, along with strict government regulations relating to anything federal and anything emergency response related, could be an issue. Anytime dealing with software that uses addresses or personal info, there is a potential consumer privacy concern. Moving forward, trying to expand and invest in technology, those could be issues for us.
For our target market, we have segmented it, and geographically, it will initially consist of local fire departments with plans to extend it to police and EMS agencies as the company grows. Demographically, our target market is comprised of 96% males of all ages. Our target market has some key behavioral characteristics, which include a strong brand attachment and loyalty to these products. Our market strategy will heavily emphasize the necessity of our product for life safety, as well as its efficient interface. And one of our key competitive advantages is the price point of our product, as it will be available in inexpensive modules that will allow poorly funded departments to purchase it. Here we have one of our largest competitors, Emergency Reporting. They currently hold about 15 to 20% of our domestic market. They offer unlimited concurrent users at no additional cost. They're utilized by every type of response agency in the US. They have a secure and cloud-based record management system, and they invest heavily in consumerism through their own donations to nonprofit organizations. Although they have been known to have slow and reliable notification speeds, they have a complex pricing model that's very intricate, a lack of product customization, user interface is complex, and the record management system requires constant internet access. Again, their opportunities include the untapped foreign markets, the ability to integrate with supporting products, which is something they've done successfully in the past. We are seeing increased demand in the DoD, federal government agencies, and offshore private sectors, such as oil rigs. In the US, there are niche trade shows and local training academies where you can showcase products, and a growing number of domestic departments in the market. However, strict government federal oversight is always going to be a threat. The recently acquired company may cause instability, Trying to find personnel creates recruitment obstacles. As they try to remain competitive, their R&D expenses, coupled with a potential economic downturn, can provide a large potential threat. Here we see Active 911, another top competitor that offers a very simple pricing model, which is per device, a reliable 24/7 customer support, modular software packages that are compatible with any Android or iOS device. They also offer free trials to help departments feel comfortable before purchasing their product. Just like emergency reporting, they have issues with delayed notifications, which is something we hope to improve upon. The integrated GPS is usually inaccurate at close range. They're very expensive at up to $14 per device. They do have a lot of features, but they're so complex and hard to find they go underutilized. They do not offer a record management system, which is important. They do have some opportunities, such as the decreasing software server prices. We see 5G capabilities arriving in the US, which would definitely increase response times. That and the untapped rural market may be an opportunity. And we see a growing market in the private sector and government markets, which is where Active 911 does not currently market towards. Finally, recently passed legislation has increased department funding, which will help for purchasing products such as these. Again, however, it exists in a highly competitive market. Local dispatching agencies, along with the federal government, set up regulations that can be costly to adapt to. They must continue to fund their research and development to meet the demand. This comes with a lot of expenses to remain innovative and relevant to their competitors. Our product is known as emergency response software. When you pick up the phone and call 911, a local dispatcher will type in all pertinent information into a computer-aided dispatch system. That system then reports all that information to an emergency response software that's being utilized by your local response agency. This business software can be categorized as both a shopping and specialty product, as the price and market structure will allow for the end user to conduct the research and spend time shopping before making their purchase, as well as it possesses a trade name that creates its own customer traffic.
At Hopewell Technologies, we will create an independent R&D department. We will acquire primary research data by utilizing industry experience of the members in well-defined research projects, such as response time studies and surveys with local response agencies. We will also utilize secondary research data that's collected from various federal organizations that conduct the fire research studies. We chose those organizations because in 2019, FEMA will do about $8 million of research and clinical studies, and in 2021, the National Institute of Standards and Technology is set to do $21.9 million in fire and research studies. We like to patent our products, such as the distinguishable software features like our proximity location technology being integrated into the software. We'd also like to copyright both the design of our mobile and computer applications, which should not be hard for us to do. When it comes to hiring outside personnel, we're looking for qualified first responders who have both the experience and education necessary to do the job. And for employee motivation, we offer a variety of fringe benefits, such as dental insurance, access to company cars, and the ability to win money for a charity of your choice once a year based off your job performance. Also, we provide our employees with quarterly performance reviews and yearly bonuses for growth and accomplishments. Blaine McCollum will be our CEO. He has management experience as he managed a car wash for a year. He's a BAT major. We picked him for this role as the CEO because this is his product, and he's been accepted to multiple four-year schools as a finance major and is still currently deciding on where he'll attend. I, Jack Ansbro, I'm going to be the Chief Sales Officer. I'm a BAT major, and we think I'm right for this role because I have experience as a golf sales and operations specialist at Trump National Hudson Valley. Michael Sampson will be our Chief Operations Officer. He's a bachelor's degree, and we picked him for this role because he created several successful software startups, and he's a Microsoft software engineer.
Our Chief Financial Officer will be Hector Vasquez, who in addition to being a BAT major, has spent the past 10 years getting valuable experience helping manage his family-owned restaurant's finances. And our Chief Marketing Officer will be James Murray, who is also a BAT major, but has a copious amount of marketing experience when compared to the rest of the 4 members, as he recently both formed his LLC and then implemented his own marketing campaign for his business. Hopewell Technologies will aim to utilize a simplified line structure, with myself, the CEO, being responsible for all major management and oversight, and then delegating to my executive officers with a linear flow of control from top to bottom, where they're responsible for their independent departments. And then as the 4 owners have an equal % equity stake in the company, they will also share equal voting rights on all major decisions. Our marketing campaign will seek to utilize various different mediums, both traditional and digital. Traditionally, we'd like to utilize Fire Engineering Magazine, which has a 50% market reach per month of about 600,000 firefighters domestically. And then digitally, Fire Rescue One website comes out with various news articles and product releases, and they have a 65% market reach per month of about 850,000 firefighters. And then, as we know, in the 21st century, social media is vital for any company's marketing campaign. And our secondary data that we've compiled has shown that both YouTube and Facebook are utilized by approximately 80 to 90% of both fire departments and personnel. We've prepared some cash flow projections, and then here in the first year, we believe it's feasible and attainable to capture about 15% of the local New York State market of 1,693 departments, which would equate to 250 units sold at a price of $650 per unit for $162,500 in sales in the first year. And then we've increased our operating expenses when it comes to marketing to 30%, as we want to emphasize marketing in the first introductory phase. And then our interface maintenance, rental fees, and those repair costs will be high, as we're a software company and we're starting to fix the bugs that were coming out in our servers. So our operating expenses are $139,500 in the first year, for a total net income or net profit of $23,000, which we do realize is unprecedented for most small businesses. However, we believe that our low overhead costs and our clearly identifiable profit margins do make this a reasonable goal. And then here in the second year, we've increased our market capture to 35%, or doubled the number of units sold to 600 at the same price of $650 per unit. That comes out to $390,000 in total sales. As our company grows, our expenses will also scale upwards. So we'll see an increased server rental and utility cost. And then we're also going to slowly decrease our marketing or advertising costs as we go along and we move out of that introductory phase. So we've decreased those from 30 to 20%. And then accounting for those expenses, we see a net income or net profit of almost double at $68,500 in the second year. And then moving on lastly to year 3, we've doubled the number of units sold again to 1,200, as we now should be expanding and implementing our regional sales strategy here in the Northeast. We've also increased the price by $50 to $700 per unit to account for our increased expenses. However, we'll still have that competitive advantage and that relatively lower price point, as $700 is about 10% below the market average. That comes out to $840,000 in total sales for year 3. And we've also increased our rental costs. As we gain more customers, we're going to need to increase the amount of servers that we have. That's going to come along with an increased amount of maintenance as we go along and try and fix those bugs. So subtracting the $681,500 in total operating expenses from our total sales of $840,000, we see a net profit of $158,500 in year 3, which we hope to then invest back into the company for further R&D and product development. Thank you, and we look forward to answering any questions that you may have.